Welcome to the DataStack Show. This episode you're about to hear is actually, it was originally recorded as a live stream, and we collected some of the top minds working in the reverse ETL space. And we just wanted to pick their brains about this technology that, has probably been built internally for a long time by companies, but is now being turned into SaaS and is doing some interesting things. Kostas, I'm really interested to ask this panel about some of the technical challenges of building these things at scale. A lot of times, I think if these were internal builds, maybe like a one-to-one connection, you're sort of dealing with a pretty simple pipeline. But doing this at scale across integrations is hard. So I want to hear about what technical challenges they're dealing with. How about you?
Yeah, I want to ask them, when are we going to finally get like a proper name for this technology? this reverse ETL thing needs to stop. Like,
yeah.
it's so wrong. So yeah, I'll try to see what they're thinking about that and what's the timeline to get like a better name.
Great, let's dig in. That's a marketing problem, so we're going into pretty uncharted territories here, but I love it. All right, let's dig in.
Let's do it.
We get to talk to some super smart people, Kostas, which is honestly like maybe one of the highlights of my week. Just being able to ask good questions, or at least what I think are good questions, or at least my own curiosities to these brilliant people building stuff. I think what was so interesting was we really didn't, if you went back and listened to that conversation and you didn't have the context for it, you might not necessarily think it was solely centered on reverse ETL, right? And we actually didn't talk about sort of like the actual technical flow of data from like a row in a warehouse table to, like a field and some sort of downstream tool. And I mentioned this at the end, like reverse ETL is it's a strange term in that way, right? Because the way that they're thinking about this problem is so much more comprehensive than, just sort of a basic pipeline that's moving data from A to B. So yeah, it made me think even more about, your point that the name for this maybe is not a great name. What'd you take away?
Yeah, it's not a great name. My main takeaway is that we really need to spend like more time with these folks, like discussing about not just like reverse ETL, but the whole, let's say, transformation that the data infrastructure is going through right now. Like, for example, you saw that one of the most exciting things that they talked about was about the latest developments in data warehousing, right? And like, what does this mean? Or what it means to have like so many people out there that they know, or they say that they know SQL, but they are not like technical, right? And we still have like so many people that they technically are doing functional programming through Excel sheets, but still they are not using like all these amazing technologies that we are talking about. So the potential is obviously like huge out there, and we are still very, very early. And what I'd like to add, like to what you said about like speaking with very smart people, I would say that like what I find like extremely fascinating is that it's not just like they are smart people, they are also like highly motivated people. And that's what makes like things even more interesting, because we have people that are trying to change the way that we are working with data, and it's very early. So I don't know, I find it like how to say that, as an amazing opportunity to take a glimpse in the future when we can get like all these people together and like chat with them. So hopefully we'll be able like to do it more often in the future.
I agree. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Lots of great recordings coming up, so make sure to subscribe, and we will catch you on the next DataStack Show. Welcome to the second DataStack Show live stream. This is super fun. We did this once before, and we like to collect some of the best minds in the industry around certain topics and just pick everyone's brains. And the topic for this live stream is reverse ETL, which is kind of a new term in the industry. but actually something that people have been doing for a while, which we'll talk about. And we have some people who I'm just so excited to have on the show, names that I've followed for a long time personally. I know Kostas has as well. So let's just do some quick intros. Tejas, do you want to start off and give a quick intro?
Yeah, sure. So, hey everyone, I'm Tejas, one of the founders of Hightouch. We're one of the players in the reverse ETL space and data activation, basically helping companies take data from the data warehouse and use it across all the operational processes and SaaS processes in their business. Before founding Hightouch, I was actually an early engineer in Segment. So my experience sort of in the data vendor space dates back to like 7-8 years ago, before terms like CDP and stuff like that existed, and kind of saw the rise of cloud data warehouses there and realized that there was an opportunity to bridge some of the challenges we were solving at Segment and what was happening in the data warehousing space with companies building a source of truth in the warehouse. So super excited to be on the show today. Obviously follow all the